Great Pumpkin is on Charlie Brown. It's amazing. So I'm gonna probably restart that and watch that, because that's why would I not watch Charlie Brown? Bye, Oliver. See you after work, buddy. They're only calling for a high of 48 today. Oh my god, the street is the worst. I do try to avoid this road, but I don't know, my hatred for going out of my way, if at all possible, usually overtakes my common sense to not drive down this road. I have this OCD thing where I absolutely hate going out of my way. I feel it's just so inefficient. So that OCD always overrides the fact that I know I'm going to get angry driving down this hill, because this hill sucks. It's only 2 blocks out of my way, but man, it's OCD. It's so hard to control. Oh, what's going on here? That's 3 fire trucks and an ambulance. It looks like they're at the little diner. Hope everything's okay. Those 3 fire trucks. Oh, diner, 3 fire trucks. All those businesses are like all connected there too. It's all the buildings are sandwiched. They're like old brownstones. There's a bunch of small mom and pop businesses there. I hope everything's okay. I'm about to make a stop before I go to work. You're gonna wait for me in the car. I think you know what the stop is gonna be. Good. I had a bit of a freak out this morning. I got here and I could not log into my computer. It just kept, the box shakes when you enter the wrong password, but I was entering the correct password repeatedly. This is the final day I can edit the videos for the trade show. Turns out my password expired, but I was never prompted to enter a new password, so I had to log out as me, log into my computer as a guest, and then when I tried to log back in as myself, it prompted me to change my password. It took me a half an hour to figure that out. I was freaking out. And of course, IT doesn't get here till like 8:30, 9 o'clock, so I could get no help. Whew. All's better now. Rendering out some patches. Last patch just finished. Let's pop that into the timeline. No!
Just checking to see if you got everything going all right.
Maybe.
You're still figuring it out.
This is making a weird sound now. So all I did was change the ink.
What was the deal with the cloud?
They're all...
Does it still have you set up doing a trial?
It just says open. It doesn't say anything about a trial, but every time I try to burn DVDs, it keeps crashing the first go around, so it gets like transcodes for like 10 minutes and then crashes. Nothing's working. I wish this was still pumpkin spice. Just regular coffee now. This is where I start pacing because I'm nervous. I still need a few things to go correctly and I'm done. This is the finish line. And I got about 2 miles left till I hit it. This is it. There were changes in the 11th hour. I'm finishing an hour and a half later than I should have, but I'm finished. One of my original ideas was one day a week I'm gonna do reviews. I used to be very active on Yelp, and I used to do a blog Monday through Fridays. Now, in my blog, Friday was Video Fridays, mostly because it was Friday and I was lazy, and I would post videos that I thought were either interesting or funny or something along those lines. I also did a lot of product reviews. All things like nothing that was given to me. It was all stuff that I paid for, I bought myself, I used or continue to use. And I'm thinking about doing a video version of that. I'm thinking about for like Fridays, like every Friday just do a review. Or just post a review. So I may or may not do a daily and the review, because the review I can film throughout the week. I don't even have to do it all in one day or one sitting. I can film throughout the week and then just post it live on Fridays. So I'm thinking about doing that. I actually really enjoy them. I did really well on Yelp. Obviously the negative reviews did better. I still get asked to review places by friends, but I did have a lot of followers. And I've reviewed places all over the country. I don't just do local establishments. If I went somewhere, I review a bar, a restaurant, a business as I travel. 2.5 months behind. Excited to read these tonight. This got good. I wasn't really into it at first. We got 3 issues. I love the gym on a Friday night. There is nobody there. That is awesome. That's all going to change after January 1st. I call it the New Year's resolution group. For 2 to 3 months, you will not be able to get a machine in that place before 7 o'clock. You won't be able to get a parking spot anywhere near it before 7 o'clock. So you run early in the morning or late at night. It's Oliver. He's been sleeping while I was at the gym. Anyway, that was a 7.4 mile run at probably about 8:25, 8:30 pace. I did an 8:34 pace for the first like 52 to 54 minutes, and then I kicked it up to 7.5 miles. I'm very orange right now. I know Amy says people think I'm naked when I'm doing this without a shirt on, but I have pants on. Speaking of a shower, by the time this goes on YouTube, it will be Sunday. So, at that point, I do not feel bad that I'm about to give away quote-unquote spoilers of last week's episode of The Walking Dead. The second episode will be on tonight. There's so many memes on Facebook, mostly about Glenn, that Glenn died. Now, I thought Glenn was going to be the obvious choice because Glenn is the one that gets killed by Negan in the comic books. Now, they did a really, really good job at recreating the comic book death, the way that Glenn's eye pops out. I think the "I will find you." I don't remember offhand if he says "I will find you" to Maggie. I know he screams Maggie. It takes him a little while to get it out, but he gets it out. Now, Abraham is a character in the comics, but he gets shot by, I believe, Dwight with a crossbow outside of Alexandria. Now, we saw Dwight kill, I can't remember her name, the doctor on the train tracks in front of Daryl, and that's when Daryl goes after him, and that's kind of why Daryl's on this vengeance to find Dwight and kill him after he spared his life, which ultimately gets Daryl and, was it Daryl and Sasha? Not Sasha. Ah, man, I can't remember her name now. The girl that was with Abraham. I can't remember her name. But the three of them are all out, and they get caught by Dwight and that crew because of Dwight shooting that girl through the eye with the crossbow. Now, the way it happened, with her kind of mumbling a little bit, not realizing what happened, that's what happens to Abraham in the comic book. So, like, they recreated that pretty well. They changed the scene and the character, but you knew Abraham was going to die because he was a pretty good character in the comics, but he wasn't a lasting character. He wasn't a Rick. Well, Daryl doesn't even exist in the comics, but he wasn't a Rick. He's not a Carl. He was a commanding figure, but he didn't have lasting power. Now, he is the character that I thought was going to get the bat the entire time. I didn't think they were going to kill Glenn because I thought that was far too obvious. The way that Daryl jumps on Negan, and Negan clubs Glenn, and then Negan goes and takes Daryl, and now Negan has Daryl and Dwight. I think that's how they're going to resolve the Daryl-Dwight issue, because as I said the other day, there is no Daryl in the comic books. Daryl is a character based off of Dwight, and in the comic books, Dwight he's a tougher dude. He's not this scrawny, fragile whiner like he is in the comics. He does have his face burned, and I really hope they get into why his face is burned,